Welcome back. What's up, y'all? We're having one of the most amazing conversations I've ever had with, of course, my special guest, Leiomy. We're about to go into part two of our conversation with Leiomy Maldonado. Let's have her. Are you guys enjoying the chat? She's really Naomi's chatting, baby, and it is amazing. All back at Leiomy. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Dun 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 dun, dun. Over. Welcome back to part two. To the back, Leiomy Maldonado.
What's
Everybody,
the
give a round of
tea?
applause. The comments have been amazing. Everybody is so inspired by a lot of the things that you are sharing and talking about. I always tell you one of my favorite people, and tonight you're just proving it. I really love that you're here. Shout out to everybody for joining us. So we are now going into part two. So tell me how Legendary came about for you.
Hmm. Well,
Hmm.
I got. I had heard about them shooting the pilot and stuff, right? And that they were in the talks of the show being put together. And initially, they wanted me to like compete with my kids because at the time, the
You
house
were
on Amazon was open,
Amazon.
and I'm like,
Uh-oh, we lost her. Work season two. That's our first production issue. I love it. That means we're legit. So excited. We're blowing out. I was. Oh wait, we keep losing her. This is terrible. Oh my God, this isn't Fox Soul. Let's wait. Let's see if we can get her. What's up, y'all? How is everyone enjoying Leiomi's conversation while we have this little techie issue? Let's get my girlfriend. Legendary said, HBO trying. Cartel, you are insane. I'm weak. Wait, let's. Is that?
I'm like, I'm
Bitch,
like, are the
mind you, the ghost was
are they
like,
paying
the
attention?
ghost said HBO said, no, you won't. The girls are still watching, sis. They said, go, pull it,
Hold on,
pull it.
girl. They've been waiting for this conversation.
The
Okay,
girls
so
said, cut the fucking cord.
initially, initially, I got called in. Well, when they first reached out, they wanted me to like compete, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I competed on TV before. I know how it is, and no shade. I'm just not for that. Like, I didn't want to do that. And it was like, okay. And then a few months passed when they finally, because that's before they even got like the green light. That's when they already had the pilot, and then they was sending it here and there to see who was gonna like it, who was not gonna like it. So they were in conversations trying to get certain people just in case, whenever they do get the green light, it's time to go. But I'm like, no, I don't really want to compete. I didn't feel like that was like at the time. I'm like, no, I'm kind of past that, and um, a few months later, when they finally got the green light, that's when they reached out to me and they wanted me to judge. And I was like, hell yeah. But at first I'm like, what's this whole situation going on? Like I needed to know like what direction they were going with.
How did they tell
And
it to you?
they told me about the show. They told me that would be me and the other judges, and they told me who the judges were. Um, because I was the last person to actually sign. I was like, hold on, I want to make sure that if I'm going to be a part of this, it's something that I'm going to be proud of, you know? It was the first time that we get an opportunity like this. So if I was going to be a part of it, no shade, it had to feel good to me in my heart. So I needed to know where they was going with it. And once they told me everything, they told me where everybody, was a part of, at first, just like everybody else, I'm like, why don't we have more ballroom people on the panel? Like, like I started questioning the same things that everybody else started questioning. But then I started realizing, I'm like, I have to realize this is the first time that Ballroom is going to be shown to the world. And if it's just a panel full of Ballroom people, I don't think as many people will tune in. Like, yes, it will be
Did
successful
they
because
did they
I was
ask you did they ask you that of your
no,
opinion, or whether you just
they
feeling
didn't.
that?
I was just feeling that
Okay.
because they didn't ask me anything. You know, the contract was just about me being a judge. I wasn't an E.
Right.
They wasn't. They didn't ask me about being an EP, a writer, or anything. So all I had to deal with was actually judging. But of course, they always will ask me certain things, and of course, I will have my input. But you know, when I finally said yes, and we finally had our first meeting, that's when I started realizing exactly how the categories were going to be put together, and what was going to be expected, and you know what the categories were going to what the themes were going to be for each week, and that's the meeting that, like, you know, basically we were introduced to the plan of exactly what Legendary was going to be.
Mhm.
Right after that, I met with Eric Archibald and
Costumes, yeah. That's my
yes,
old boss.
for costumes and stuff, and then we put together a mood board based on week to week,
Hmm.
what the theme was. You know, we came together and we would come up with looks.
Well, what was Jackson? Has Jack been involved with that project since conception?
I don't know. I just know that when I was a part of it, he was a part of it too.
Yeah.
So I feel like he was reached out around the same time, and he was a writer on there, I believe. I think
Mm.
that's what he was doing.
So it's like for you to not know like how you were saying like once they explained it to you, you were like, okay, so I get what this is gonna be. Your kind of nervousness of how it was gonna go, wouldn't that been like a like Jack's kind of ordeal of coming in? With those ever conversations? Because you were the only person of Ballroom that would have to kind of physically represent us on TV. A lot of people never know the back
Mm-hmm.
end of
That's
things.
true.
But
I felt like it was times where I did speak up to the actual, you know, producers and stuff. Like I took it there,
mhm,
because I feel like having relationships with someone, like I'm the type of girl that even if I have a relationship with someone, when I'm on set, I keep more of the professionalism in there. So I wasn't gonna go to Jack and be like, "Hey, why aren't you saying something?"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or asking him if, you know, are you able to say something? You know, that wasn't my thing. Of course, there was times where, you know, me, I agreed. I'd be like, "Child,
yeah.
who the hell told these people to do this?"
Hmm.
Right? You know, loud and
Right.
just saying it because that's who I am. You know, those moments always happen.
Yeah.
But
It's also,
yeah,
but
it
you're
was
also
times.
at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm at work, so you know, I still want to be able to show them, like, yeah, I want to be a part of this, but I should still have to say so. I should still
Yeah.
have an opinion at least. You don't have to listen to my opinion and take what I say and put it into the show, but hey, I'm gonna have an opinion. You have me here for a reason.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, season one was really, really good because it was the introduction of what Ballroom was, and for me, it was grand alone just being in Connecticut on that stage when we found out that, well, when I found out that we was going to LA, I'm like, ooh, hold on,
I
Kia.
got money.
I said, oh, hold on. You know, it was like, Leiomy, we loved your performance
Uh,
for season one. You played such a great part, and we would love to invite you to season two.
mm. So
And
now that as the show progressed, what was it like on set, leading kind of up to the cancellation of it?
well, on set, I used to have fun. Like it was coming into set. It was like an 8 hour set day, basically. Come into set, I get into my trailer, I get into straight into hair and makeup. Then we go
Mm.
into the set, and then you know we actually just shoot the show. I feel like every week was so different because you know what you see edited is not what you see in real person in
Yeah,
real
of
life.
course.
So a lot of times, you know, the first season we had a crowd, so of course people were there.
Yeah.
They was getting into the shit
And
that really
COVID
was happening.
happened.
But season two, it wasn't like that. So it
Yeah.
made things kind of more difficult. But I felt like I enjoyed season two more because I'm a person where like I pay attention to everything. And season one, like the people in the crowd, they was dragging it sometimes, booing, especially booing me, and I was taking it personal. I wanted to read. You know how we get
Yeah.
it's time to react. And I have to realize, girl, you're being recorded. Hush it. Hold on, Kia. Hold on.
When there would be like the members of the community on stage, because as we watched the show, we realized that they were formulating houses and making
I
different.
hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that. I was never.
A lot
If
of
it
us
was up
did.
to me,
A lot of
if
us
it was
did.
me, if I would have anything to do a part of like booking the people and booking the talent and getting the people in there, it would
Yeah.
not have went that
Cause
way.
I think all of us thought it was weird too. Like when we would watch, was there ever any situation that kind of happened on the show where, cause you're looking technically at your peers, you're looking at people that and different things. And there was a couple times the girls kind of barked on you. Did those relationships or situations carry over into like now when you're out or see people or things of that nature?
No, but I make sure they keep that
No.
same energy. Not on my end, but I make sure they keep that same energy when they try to come and hug me. It's like giving like, no, baby, it's okay. But hello to you.
Listen,
It's good
no.
seeing you.
Uh, when you're like with Deshaun and everybody on the thing when you guys would kind of be off, was it like a camaraderie, like you guys would all get together and discuss like what y'all liked or didn't like? Because you are still working, but you're creating a product.
Me and Deshaun would, of course, after every episode, he would come into my trailer and we would kiki, and we would kiki about the whole situation because it used to be a lot that used to
Yeah,
happen. Like I feel like the edits sometimes, the
yeah.
edits
What's
help.
what's something
The
that
edits
happened off of
help.
the edit? What's something off the edit you can talk about that like we just didn't get?
Mm, girls got sent home even before they even made it on the show.
Little stuff like that,
Bitch,
like
it was
not being
that.
able to qualify and stuff.
Yeah, fights, like certain things that they had to cover because they didn't want it to be seen that way.
Mm,
Like, I'm like, oh wow, okay. I lived for how they work things because if they would have put that stuff out there, they would have been judging the girls. The show would have got canceled ASAP. No shade.
wow.
And that's the thing about the ballroom scene that they don't understand. Y'all bitches are unfiltered. The world is not ready for that unless y'all bitches want to be on Zeus.
Yeah. Ultimately, why do you think the show got canceled? Like, in just your opinion?
I don't know, honestly. Oh, honestly, I feel like they probably went or they probably were greenlit with a 3-year contract, but they didn't tell us. That's how I felt.
Mm.
Especially because I don't know. After ending season 3, I felt like it was so weird that I felt like we weren't gonna get a season 4. I felt like the ending of it gave the ending of
Yeah.
Legendary, and I chose not to perform for Legendary in the finale because if you notice, season 1, me and Deshaun performed.
Yeah, I remember that.
My choreography, thank you, and then second season he performed because that's when he debuted as a Basquiat. He performed
Uh,
alone. And then the third season, I was gonna perform, but I changed my mind because I felt like the performers, the artists that they used to perform on the show had nothing to do with like.
I mean, honestly, if you were like, the show kind of had nothing to do with Ballroom. It was like, pick out the little parts that are glossy and pretty and let's put those in there.
But
But,
then when it came to the artists, I'm like, I didn't feel like wanting to perform. I didn't want to be the
yeah,
savior of the artists.
yeah,
I feel like no, I was not gonna do it. Like literally, I changed my mind the day of
yeah.
shooting.
Whatever happens,
As I'm in hair and
oh,
makeup.
really?
Yes,
In
I was
glam.
like in glam.
Oh, bitch. When they like
I was in
originally
glam.
asked you to perform, like, whatever really happened to the Amazons?
Well, with the House of Amazon, I closed the House of Amazon down because, well, ballroom wise, because they're still my kids. Because my kids weren't really ballroom. They didn't want to like. They weren't really ballroom
Were they like
driven. They weren't really like.
more dancer girls?
Some were dancers, some were just like, queer people and like, young trans girls that were just coming into the scene and stuff like that. They weren't really ballroom driven where like they wanted to like vogue and compete at balls all the time. And I felt like, oh, what's the purpose of having a
Mm,
house if I don't feel like, I'm gonna want to go to a ball because my kids don't even, they didn't want to do it. It was a time where like the break that we took was too
yeah,
long.
yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Once it,
I wanted to come back to ballroom, but I'm like, I wanted to come back to ballroom and be a part of a house that was already established. I didn't want no
yeah,
titles. I just wanted to come back and like venture off to new categories and just have fun.
yeah. After Legendary, I think like when that went off, I think the girls really had to rethink about what we were offering because different times when shows hit, they're kind of groundbreaking or one of its kind at that time. But when you have a lot of space, people have the time to create off of the things that you've done. So now when we go into a next spot, we can kind of piggyback on the things you did, and it doesn't become fresh.
Right.
And then, you know, like we were incorporating Kiki houses because like we all know Ballroom, but the lady in Ohio that's watching this for the first time, she's not understanding or getting what Ballroom is. But say la vie, legendary. We love that you were on there. I love the times that you did speak up and all that kind of stuff. So like after that, there was a kind of break. I think you kind of disappeared off the scene. Then I think you kind of became a conversation when we started hearing about Beyonce putting on a tour for the album Renaissance, and that became a big deal. And I think to all of us, you were at the height of what was going on in the scene, to the point where a lot of times when gigs would happen or things, we as people on the receiving side of these ordeals and projects, we kind of get used to it. Kind of, unfortunately, we're seeing the same girls. So I personally, I thought in my mind, nobody can talk about it, all this kind of stuff. We're not know anything. Did anything ever happen with you and the Renaissance tour?
No, I didn't even know
Nothing.
about the audition. I found out about the auditions like when they were actually happening, and I was here.
How
And
did you find out? Do you have like the agent or something like that?
No, I found out from the people that was auditioning. Cause
hey sis, where you at? We at Beyonce.
The agency that I'm a part of, I feel like they reached out to agency with dancers. I'm not signed to a dancer's agency. I'm assigned as an artist. So I do modeling, I do acting, you know, I do it all. I'm not just a set dancer. So I feel like that's why I didn't hear about the initial thing. And then like everybody started going crazy. I was just gagging. I'm like, I mean, I was home healing anyways. I couldn't even do what needed to have been done. If were anyway. So I mean, it would have been amazing.
You like when you do watch, you're very vocal online a lot of times. Like when you would be like heavy when gigs would pop up and the girls would be dancing and stuff. You would definitely not bite your tongue and like jump online and be like, "Is this what the girls are doing? Like that's not voguing, or this is not that." Do you have any kind of those sentiments watching how Renaissance was portrayed to us?
To a certain extent, yeah. I feel like the talent that was booked, they're very talented. It was amazing to see people, you know, shine. That's always my thing. I want to see the girl shine. I just feel like when it came to like the segment where they're like displaying the categories,
the ball.
I feel like that wasn't like put together right. I feel like the way they were showcasing the categories, it wasn't how you would see it at a ball. It wasn't even like, you know. I feel like that's the only thing that I would really talk about. And you know, as an artist, I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand that my artistry when it comes to voguing, I created majority of the stuff that you see nowadays. You
those
know,
dips that you're doing, they were mine.
I created those from like passion, and they were in practice. I feel like that's something else that a lot of people don't realize. When I did the 360 on Mika, that happened right there and then. I wasn't at home busting 360.
Everybody knew that it happened right then.
Like if I show you my knees, they look normal,
darling,
compared to a lot of the girls nowadays.
Leiomy, watching and knowing your Vogue, I said it earlier in the first part. You had no control yet. There was no way that you could have planned it. It was just, bitch, it just happened.
And I feel like, you know, as an artist, it's cute to see some people. A homage is when you literally take time to acknowledge the person that you're giving the homage to. You know, you acknowledge them. You're acknowledging them in audio, something, so people can know, oh, well, okay, this is an ode to this person. I feel like a lot of times nowadays is like these new artists, these new voguers and stuff that are getting booked and stuff, they're getting booked doing my stuff. They're not getting booked based on their artistry. And that to me is like, I'm an artist. So imagine a painter being known for a specific way of painting, and then here comes someone else and they're doing the same style and they're getting recognized for the same style. That to me, that's what bothers me, because I feel like people don't understand it's beyond just, okay, well, you're a voguer too. They do a lot of the same things in voguing. Oh, they do. A lot of catwalks are the same. Certain hand things are the same. Those are signature moves. I am a signature move girl.
Hands down. I share that. I think it's a connection that we like. I'm a girl that I'm not a practice girl. Like the things that I would come up with Vogue and really were like in the moment. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even watching, where does the homage break though? Because like, you know, people look at us and they expect us to be humble. However, when you're speaking facts, they do just become facts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where does that line kind of blur for you in the way that you can receive what people are doing and how they're using the things that you create?
I feel like I'm not dead yet. I'm still
Facts.
here.
Yeah,
I'm still
facts.
here. You know?
Do you think it falls on the actual artists or the people that I always feel like when other people come into our scene, they unfortunately just are not curious about our scene. They're
Mm-hmm.
jumping into what's popping, what's hot, and all this kind of stuff. I look at certain girls and I'm like, she's not wrong for taking the opportunity that was given to her.
Of course.
However, how is it that the girl that actually would be the girl get looked over? That's kind of where I always exist in it. Is that where you stand? Like, is because the girl's not to blame, you know, that she's reached out to,
No,
but
that's why I don't say it's not about the gig. I feel like I could not have seen myself 3 hours dancing on stage and doing
yeah.
that. I honestly that's not something that I could have been doing. A solo, yeah, that's my thing. I'm gonna come out,
Mm,
do my thing for a minute or two, and then
yeah.
so I'm
Because it's
not
like
like
those girls are
I
actual
love to
dancers.
see ballroom scene, especially when it's the right people. When it's the right people, ain't no questions, baby. Get your life.
Yeah.
Now when you see these other people who just got the gig just because, and
Do
then
you
they
feel
just learning
like
a choreography to showcase what ballroom is, but you got to learn a choreo. That's not right.
do you feel like that's the case when it comes down to like you doing your teaching and things and you're giving girls just the bare essence of what you kind of create on your own, but giving them the recipe to cook, and now these girls are all cooking, they're booking gigs, and the people are going, does that kind of sit with you at all, as in you shared your gifts willingly and freely to these girls,
When it
they
comes to
took it and now
certain,
monetize off of
when
you?
it comes to certain students of mine, that's what needed to happen, especially going overseas. And I have a student that I bring under my belt, and they're teaching, of course, to see them do what they need to do and, reach the limit, that's fab to me. I'm not a hater. I
Yeah,
live
yeah,
for
yeah.
that. I want to see the girls get their life. I just feel like when I teach, I don't teach people my stunts. Like when I teach classes, I literally teach them the essence of performance. So everybody that comes out of there, they're gonna vogue individually. I'm not teaching a class full of robots,
Hmm.
And I feel like that's where the ballroom scene kind of went left. That they started celebrating people that were clones and copies,
Hmm.
and it kind of like made the girls who had something new to offer kind of be washed away to the side. Because here you come, they want to see the 360s. They want to see, Circus Soleil. They want to see, hopscotch and backflips and they want to
Yeah.
see that. So when a bitch come out voguing soft and she breaking down the beat and she's giving you emoting and soft and cut and breaking it down, they're not understanding that. They're not
They don't get it
appreciating that.
because they don't know that feeling.
And
They
that's
don't.
another thing that the girls hate about me, because I don't see it for the dramatic vogers. Like no shade. Yolanda, Alora, those was my girls. The girls that got me up.
Yeah.
After that, there's nobody. And to me, a soft and calm girl get me up before a dramatic girl get me up.
No female figure that walks dramatics gets you up.
Not right now.
Heard it
Because
first.
they are
When
girls that get me up, but I say dramatics,
no.
no.
When what did you take any kind of personal ordeal to the Beyonce not using Femme Queens for the Renaissance tour, or did you
Hell
get the
yeah. I wanted to mention
you
that.
did?
That's the only thing. That was the main thing that disappointed me, was that not one girl was called. Like no shade.
Yeah.
A Tati, a motherfucking Kamaya, like no shade. Even if she wanted to use new girls, new talent, those girls are there. They are a part of Legendary. They have a following. They have a spotlight on them.
Yeah.
At least. I feel like Ballroom needs to be People need to remember that ballroom started because of the femme
Yeah.
queen, and that the femme queens are what ballroom is. Ballroom is femme queens.
That I push back on that in a way of knowing entertainment. Beyonce's tour was inclusive in the way that the safest space for Beyonce to do this and do things the way Beyonce does was to have a gender non-conforming presentation of our community and go into there. A femme queen on stage with Beyonce is destructive. If you look at all the dancers, they all kind of had an androgynous kind of gender non-conforming identity in the way that they presented, which made for fluidity, but you also are working with a star. So like when I heard a lot of the girls talking about the lack of femme queen part, now in the idea of the final part of when we do the ball, that could have been a place where we could have been injected a female figure or something like that. However, also going back into that, throwing things or like a part in there, if they're not going to be consistently on the tour, it becomes insurance liabilities. It becomes, if this girl comes down, we don't know her stamina. We don't know how she can be in heels.
Baby,
And it becomes,
sometimes overseas, they brought different people up there that was a part of the crowd and stuff sometimes.
but not like
they could have done the same thing from state to state and get a girl from state to state.
I think it's easier said than done. When you're putting on a live show, though, at that level.
She brought in Butch Queens. She brought in more GNC Butch Queens to do parts.
GNC Butch.
We're not doing that. Not
So you think it was missed? I'm doing a talk later about the tour. I'm doing a talk later about the tour. I'm gonna loop you in because I want a lot of.
They put certain people in wigs purposely.
But that is the gender non-conforming ordeal.
Bitch.
I think that if bitch. I think it would have been tricky to have incorporated one of the girls in that segment. Because it would have had to be like every night a different girl kind of thing. And Beyonce's a machine kind of, it all has to be the same kind of thing. It's a tricky thing. But I was curious to know if you did feel that way.
I did. At least one.
Yeah.
At least even for one show, it didn't have to be consistent.
Would you be okay if it was anybody but you?
Yes. That's why I named Tati. I named Kamaya. It could have been a new girl. It didn't have to be me.
Yeah.
Ciao. I've done my work. Like it would have been an honor. That would have been an honor for the queen. Hell yeah, an honor.
Yeah.
But me feeling like no, I would have rather a new girl. No shade.
I'm glad you said that.
I wanted to see some estrogen energy up there.
A lot of people. There was a lot of
even if she had a Sanaya, no shade. Even if she had Sanaya behind the scenes working with her, teaching her how to cat.
Yeah.
A duo?
Like a little cult. Yeah.
She needed a little femme queen sprinkle up in there.
I felt like she felt like she was the femme queen. Beyonce's the femme queen. She was the only one that was going to work. But yeah, I mean, I agree, but I also kind of I look at
That's why I said behind the scenes to help her.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little.
Give her a little
juice. Salt Bay on top of her.
So are you still, now that you let's talk about you're leaving your house, going to the next one. Are you still in a Vogue space, or is your journey changed a lot?
I would love to Vogue, but the thing is that
I would love to Vogue.
I feel like me walking the ball, the people will be over me.
Really?
Ballroom people, not the fans, not the people who's dying to see me back out there, but ballroom. You know what it gives, bitch. When I come out, it's up.
It's
after one ball, I'm walking the next one, and then after that, and then after that. And I don't care. It's not about the prize to me. I'm gonna carry. Yeah. But I don't feel like being in that space to feel like bitch, to look at a bitch in her face and be like, "You tried it.
Let's go.
You tried it." But I would love to. And my grandmother passed away last year.
Mm-hmm.
And after she passed away, I took a year off work, literally a year off work, and all I did was stay home, stuff my face, take my moan, drink my water, mind my business, and just encapsulate myself in who I am and, who I'm going to be after this loss. Because my grandmother was a big, she was a big person in my life. She raised me.
She raised you, yeah.
Yeah, she raised me. And she was there throughout everything. Even when I left home, I would always come back. It will always be a time where I would come back for a little bit and then It'd be ruckus again at home, so I would have to leave. But she was always there, like.
Mm-hmm.
So like I needed that time off, and during that time off, I wasn't dancing, I wasn't doing nothing. Like literally since August last year, not doing nothing, just eating, moaning, taking care of me. And
Mm-hmm.
then now
Getting fleshy.
getting back into dancing. Like I gagged earlier this year. I could not even duck walk, Miss Ricky.
I never could duck walk, so you preach
Well,
it too.
oh, that's true, but I
Wait!
was a duck walking girl.
I said, well, that's true.
Well, that's true. But I was a duck walking girl. I couldn't even duck walk the thing. My shins was giving.
Bitch, I'm giving two. When it girls talk about 5 elements, girl, I got two in a possible.
Baby. But like I gagged. That was a shock to myself.
Yeah.
Because
did it bother you at all? Were you in like a headspace?
Hell yeah, bitch,
yeah.
what? Do what? I used to be able to roll out the bed into a ooh ooh ooh.
Yeah.
No,
What
it kind of hurt, but then I paid it. I was still like, whatever. Pay it. You getting thick? Pay it. And then now, like I feel like this year, once the year kicked in, this year I started feeling like more like myself, and I'm like, I had cut my hair also, so I was walking around looking like a fat lesbian. Not that fat lesbians are, not that there's nothing wrong with fat lesbians before y'all get in y'all feelings, but I was looking like a fat lesbian, cut off my hair. I went to the corner store, they started asking me my gender, pronouns. I'm like, oh okay. So
that's the best.
Look, you gotta be full out. So, my hair started growing back now, and I just feel like more like myself, and I'm like, I started working out at home, and the body got, got the body right.
Fat.
Little,
no fab surge, bitch. No fab surge. Girls only. Girls only. When did wait? So like, is that around the time that like you decided to start like the journey of transitioning categories?
Yeah, I was last year latex ball. That's when I first came out as a Mugler. That's when I debuted. But I was already had gained weight at then, so that was over it. I was just doing the debut just to get it out the way because my anxiety was already killing me. I was a Mugler since like maybe like 2 months before that, and so like in ballroom you join a house, it gets out. Nobody knew it did not get out, so I was like luckily, but. For me, I had anxiety, like, bitch, I'm coming back to ballroom, new category. It's like a whole different situation. And I didn't feel like I looked my best.
How did that conversation come about? How did Mugler fall in your lap?
My best friend is a Mugler. So I was talking to him all the time, and he's like, oh, you should come to Mugler. I know you want to come back to ballroom, and you want what you want, you may find here. And that's how that conversation started.
Did they want you to Vogue, or did they want you to walk face?
They didn't have no expectations of me, which to me was like a good thing. I came to them and I'm like, hey, I wanna do these things, and I wanna venture off to different categories and play around.
Was that at that level, was it different for you to like go into another house and kind of represent yourself back to the girls?
That's the tough part with me in ballroom. Everybody who don't know, a lot of people that don't know me in ballroom, they always have a perception of me. So when they meet me, they kind of like standoffish. And I feel like that happens everywhere in ballroom. So I feel like it took a while for me to come around and people like, to be like, oh shit, like she's just a regular person. Like this is not, like she's not the person that everybody else makes her seem. She's a cool person. I like to talk my shit. I'm a funny girl, Like I'm a key. I don't take shit serious unless you fuck with me.
It's different with you though, because you're a certain caliber of girl that is is it a very easy synergy, a very easy marriage with you and Mugler? I
would say to the people that took their time out to get to know me and things like that, yes. I feel like in every house it's kind of like the same. Like, people have people who are they're closer to, everyone's cordial, but I feel like, you have people who are closer. And then you have other people that are closer, but when you get to the ball, that's when everybody's like, "Yeah, bitch, we all under the same bridge." I feel like
all working for the same brand. Yeah. What is the face journey been like, coming from like when people see you, they naturally like, oh bitch, she about to cut up, and you out there giving Diana Ross love hangover. So
baby, that was a key, especially because I like to read comments sometimes. like I enjoy comments, whether they negative or positive. I like to just to see what the people think. And
What was the
bitch,
comments
the
there?
girls was reading me left and right. They was like, Mistake, we don't want to see Mistake telling his face for no fucking LSS girl. It was like, yeah, she lost it.
Wow.
Bitch, she lost it. I said, oh, they caught
Oh,
on.
oh.
They caught on.
The girls are on to me. The gig is up. The gig is up.
But
What
then
is
I had a conversation with Zinni West,
um
and we was out eating, and he's like you have to do it at least one time, like play around for the girls, because it's been so long. So then I went to the Kiki function, and then I was in the all blue, and I cut up for the children, and then at the last LSS, I vote again. So it's coming little by little. I just
yeah,
don't know. I'll be wanting to walk a ball. I'll be at the ball, and then I'll be seeing them. I'm like, I don't want to battle these girls. They ain't even got.
yeah,
I need to battle the new kids. No shame. I want to
yeah.
battle the new kids. Give
Because
me us.
the girls are really kind of like just jump into that kind of mix. Even at the stage that you're at in your ballroom career, how do you go about deciphering a house that you would want to be in? Do you feel like you can just go anywhere? Do you feel like you don't fit places? Do you feel like something would like not connect? Like I couldn't see myself in this house because like Mugler's
Well,
always been a
one thing about me, I've never thought of myself as fitting anywhere. I exist. I'm a light.
yeah,
So anywhere I am, I feel like I'm good at. I just feel like it's what I bring to the table outside of my accolades and who I am. I feel like the leadership thing, and that's where things are more for me. I wanted to join the house to help mold. I didn't want a position, but I don't want to be a trophy either. And I feel
yeah.
like that's something that I never wanted to be. I never wanted to be a trophy. But I feel like I could also stand alone. I could be alone and be fine. Because the girls gonna vote over me regardless, mistake.
So in that space, do you feel like you're gonna kind of get your roses for Femme Queen Face?
I will make sure that they give me my roses.
No,
It's coming.
Ajane turn to the side. I
I
will make sure.
will make sure that they give me my flowers. It's
Is it
coming. I'm at a place now where I'm like working out. My face slimmed down because I don't look like a butter bean no more, honey.
a,
The girl is
a Spanish
a
lesbian?
Spanish lesbiana. You know,
So like,
I'm
so pretty much,
ready.
so you're just
The
having,
body,
you're pretty
the
much just
body
having
looks
fun.
good. The body looks good. The
Yeah,
mug is on. The skin is right. What? I could
right.
walk. I could walk. Wash
Water, bitch.
face. I could do.
Water.
I could walk. Wash face. There's not many of those girls that could do that. They look
Yes,
great in paint. Lovely girls in paint.
a week. Is it every girl's dream to be a face girl?
I
Do you
think
think?
so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I
That
think
and
so.
perfect tens. Because I feel
Yeah,
like that's when you reach the like, yeah.
it's kind of like it's kind of the code of standard that we've always kind of put in ballroom. Like every girl, no matter where you're at in your transition, it's just like the face girls are always
You
the
know
girls.
what's the key?
But
Andre Mizrahi had a birthday ball back in like 2007, 2008 in Atlanta, and it was they had a category. It was your fantasy category. You had to come out and walk your fantasy category, and I walked face that night and won with my fucked up teeth. I did. I won.
fucked up. You were like,
Not no more.
got a bag and fix my teeth. Hope you host no this ain't cheap. So like, are you do you feel like are you comfortable and gonna grow with Mugler? Do you have like other things in the making, like it's the ballroom kind of thing? Certain people get like I'm in the house that I'm gonna be in, as long as I continue with ballroom. Do you feel like this could be your like journey into your next stage, or do you think there's still probably even more?
I feel like I need to push myself into getting back into ballroom, and I need to tap into face the way I tapped into voguing, where it
It's
wasn't
not the
about the
same, bitch. That's
pressure.
not the same. That's not
Is
the same. Stop. Stop.
I feel like I no. Here's the thing. I feel like I sleep on myself the same way other people sleep on myself because I've always been known to be the janitor of ballroom, sweeping the floors, rolling around the
Alyssa,
dirty
she can
floors.
do all that dirty stuff Alyssa does. Alyssa can clean the
But
floor.
I feel like with the right team, I could do what I need to
Is,
do. I just need to have the right
is,
team. That's it.
is that
Because
the
if
right
I
team?
no, I'm not talking about like housewives. I'm
Oh,
talking
just the
about
right
glam
people.
squad, glam squad. I'm talking about because a face girl,
Man.
people don't understand when you a vulgar, all you need is a seamstress, Miss Thing, and talent.
And a cowboy boot.
Don't forget your cowboy boot, because these boots was made for walking.
For walking, bitch. It will tear it.
But as a face girl, you need a makeup artist, you need hair, you need a seamstress, and you need to have these people at the function for you. Because bitch, no shade, I'm good. I have to realize that I need to treat face the way I was treated on Legendary, where bitch every 2 minutes, Mister
Yeah.
touch
Dust
her
you.
up,
Dust you. Blush
every
you.
curled into
Is your
place, you know.
when you're out on the floor there now, like, is it a different confidence level from performance? Like, because even you were like when you would Vogue, you would say like you would go after girls, and sometimes it'd be up and down. But is it like more of a when you hit the back for performance? There's two types of girls. There's a girl that everyone stands on the chair because they're waiting to see what they're gonna do, i.e., like us. And then there's girls that have to do a lot of stuff to make us get
Mm-hmm.
in. That energy is completely different for you and face. So like when you're in the floor, how are you processing the
The thing is,
instant, right? You're not
I've
getting the
only
instant
walked
light.
twice. I've only walked twice, so it's kind
You've
of
only
tough to
walked in
say.
twice.
Yes, the first time was the
Ladies,
latex ball, and then a month right after that, I walked this ball in some gym in Harlem, and I won. I actually won because I sat down a drag for face, and then I sat down a woman's for face.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like the second time I was way more comfortable. I've watched the girls. I've been there. I've seen the moments. I know what to exude. I feel like
Yeah,
when I watch the girls nowadays, they don't bring face category to life. And I don't say in the sense of their beauty. The beauty is there. The look is there. I say that in the essence. Like back in the days, the girls had an essence for face, even if they
yeah.
wasn't doing too much. Because Anjanae would come out and all she would do is
That shake.
that's it.
Yeah, it was like
Miss Tanae would give you
fresh from the back of the motherfucking bed. Exactly, exactly.
nowadays the girls like
It was great. The girls was like, but how do you feel? How do you feel about the Are you do you feel comfortable with where Femme Queen performance has gone?
what's
Female figure
that?
performance
Does that still that it
is this
exists?
still a thing? What are you
I
looking
think
like? What are you seeing nowadays?
I see female figure performance, female figures.
It's more female figure.
Yeah,
No,
it's more of a
Femme Queen
mixture.
performance.
It's not a. I think femme queen performance is what started voguing, and people don't do that no more. They don't vogue no
Yeah,
more.
it's very
It's
very
just,
very.
just like it's like dip for dip. It's more like a survival of the fittest.
Oh, what bitch? A survival of the fittest. When you if you come back into the floor, because like I've gotten to a level now at my ball career where so it is specific when I walk, because it's not about a win.
Yeah.
Only winners lose. You know what I mean? Losers are consistent. So it's like when I'm looking at a chance to get out on the floor, there's just certain things that have to get me up. What's something that'll get you up? What's something that will give you a like put a fire under your ass?
I already have that. The only thing is that at the right moment.
The moment.
That's my thing, is having the right moment of which ball I want to walk.
Mm.
Because I have things that I want to do. Like, I'm coming to a ball dressed up like a Yolanda, and I'm tapping the girls like I'm
You're
Yolanda because I need to bring her
tapping
out.
girl.
Yes. It needs to be a night where I'm
I've
like,
never I've never seen you tap a girl.
but see, Yolanda taps the girls. So
You
that's why
lot?
I said I'm going to be dressed like Yolanda, tapping the girls, giving them a breakdown like Yolanda would. Bringing it like Yolanda would, eating it like Yolanda
Who were your
would, serving it
Who
like
were your
Yolanda
inspiration
would, like
girls? Was it like Yolanda,
and
just those
Alora.
two? Alora?
In the beginning, it was Alora and Yolanda, like equally, because actually the first tape that I watched them performing, they actually was voguing to the Wonder Woman, huh?
Mm,
Crazy, crazy circle
crazy.
and come around. And I didn't realize until I got like older. And then I like, wait, I'm watching this tape and they're battling the fucking Wonder Woman. And that was the first tape that I seen them bogan.
Yeah. I remember when you came out of the when you and Nakia, all of y'all came out of the crib.
And my
And it was
I taught all of them how to vote to, like they're from Queens.
yeah.
Because I wanted to be Yolanda so badly, and they was like, "No, you need to be a Laura."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'll be a Laura."
That
honey.
shook. That shook the building that night. We both won that night.
We did.
What?
No, I didn't win that night. I didn't win that night.
Y'all won as a house.
No, bitch. All of my house sisters got sat down. I had to battle Shadira. No, I had to battle Tiffany. I sat her down. I had to battle Skittles. Sat her down. Then I battled Shadira, and they sent me packing. They let Shadira. Remember, that was when Shadira. They used to let Shadira. She used to sweep me.
How did you feel about that? Do you ever feel like Shadira was on your level?
I never felt like she was on my level. I always felt like she could keep up, and that's why she was the only one that could keep up at that time. So that's why they would let her beat me, and that's why I never took it personal. And then people be like, she's my rival. I'm like, Ballroom made her my rival. It wasn't based on talent, and that's why I think like people kind of mess certain things up.
I think it's one of those situations where when two people are on the floor, it means more for one person to win over the other than it means for this person to lose to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, though, they constantly. I feel like Shadira definitely got pressed for constantly winning over you. But most of the time we would be like, what was happening?
It wasn't until I started voguing soft.
Huh?
It wasn't until I started voguing soft that I beat her.
I think that like as dramatic, I think we talked about this before, dramatic Vogue is only good when it's rooted in soft and control.
Mm-hmm. Dramatics
is not a thing if you can't control it. Like, because of the nature of the speed, the dips, the accuracy that needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
We're emotors, but it also is a control of movement that when you can make your body do certain things and then catch it and whoop, 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 that becomes impactful, and that's when dramatics works. A lot of girls don't have that kind of thing. Do you ever feel like you had a rival?
No.
Y'all heard it,
and I said that. And I said that on Facebook a few months ago, and they was like, they tried to say it was Shadira. I'm like, no, Ballroom made her my rival. I feel like there was never a time that I went to a ball and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to battle this bitch, or like, let me get this bitch back. I never had that mentality, and a lot of times I swept the girls anyway. It was times that the girls would beat me, and I would try to hug them and then they would feel it because they beat me. So then at the next ball, I would purposely come to chew them the fuck up. So they only got it the first time.
In your mind, bitch, and I mean no pussy, what's the night where you felt like you gave a bitch her news?
A news?
Her news. You got her to fuck together. I have mine, but I want to know what yours is.
It's too many. We're going to start with Cassandra.
It's too many.
It is too many. No shade. Because Cassandra.
What's the top?
Cassandra's like top 3. The 3 times that I battled Cassandra, babe. And you know why? I'm going to spill it here. Me and Cassandra was very, very close. Like, I taught Cassandra a lot of the shit, controlled-wise, but Cassandra was never a person that let Ballroom change his mindset of how he respected people. So it was always a respectful thing.
Cassandra was a competitor.
Floor, she always wanted me. She knew that she always wanted me, but she could never get me, bitch. And then one time she popped up at me in drags, and I swept her up even worse. That bitch is like, bitch, but at least I got 2 votes. I said, it doesn't matter, girl, I won.
Don't worry, baby, you needed 7.
Yes, may she rest in peace. Cassandra was the only one that actually kept me on my toes because I knew Cassandra was going to bring it out of me. I can never sleep on Cassandra. I'm like, soft and kind, girl? I'm like, no, girl, you cannot be soft and kind. You better call on to the exorcist, bitch. Yeah. Let's go.
My top one where I feel like you just gave a bitch under, like, it was, and mind you, it was against Cassandra, but it was the black and red where you did the Matrix. The whole, it was back to the feeling that we got when we saw the 360 for the first time. Because again, you were just all over. You were doing stuff, but y'all were just voguing and voguing. And Cassandra's that kind of vogue too. She kind of just is voguing. She can do stunts, but she'll get lost in them sometimes. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all were going back and forth, and then out of nowhere, you dropped, and we thought you was about to dip, and you took that little motherfucking bop around, and we were like, oh, she's about to dip that, and then you still gave us a 360, shook the building. That's like my top.
Mind you, that night I had on a 7-inch stiletto, no platform. I
No
couldn't
one
even
was there.
I couldn't walk in that boot. I literally had to buckle knees.
I was there. I was there. It was over.
Cashmere was
over.
there.
Because that's the doll. The doll. What do you think? What do you feel like is next? When a girl reaches your status of ballroom, I'm fortunate, and I think a lot of people that are watching this, a lot of people that will, we're fortunate to say to you that we were able to witness someone that changed ballroom. A lot of people are a part of ballroom. A lot of us do, and we all contribute. But I come from a generation that I got stories about when a girl changed ballroom. Unfortunately, I was not there. With you, I get to say I watched you change ballroom. I watched you change it. It just, if no one's ever told you that, if anyone's scared to tell you that, I am thankful to watch that. But now that you've changed ballroom, what could be next? What could be next?
Well, of course, a book, because the girls need to
Come
get
on,
into
book.
full details. They need to get into full details of the shit that I have to go through. No
Yeah.
shade, in and out of ballroom. I want to get back on TV. I don't know how, but it's gonna happen soon. I feel it. I just feel it. Like I don't know why these past few weeks I've just been feeling very, very good. You know, I feel
The
like
universe just heard it now.
yes, like it's coming. I'm gonna be back on TV. I promise y'all. I just don't know how. I won't be on Zeus. I won't be on Zeus, guys. But
You're not gonna be no baddies West. Find a bitch, the thing.
I want to be on Jocelyn's Cabaret. I want to be like doing chop chop to the beat,
Yeah.
doing chop chop.
Are you do you feel like you're done in ballroom?
No. I'm coming back. I want to play around, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I don't want to battle these legends and stuff. They ain't got for me.
Yeah.
I'm not inspired by the legends of old.
Was that a
a
big
they put
thing
me
for
to
you
sleep?
when you got just that? When they gave you icon, did you feel like it was too soon or rightfully
They gave it
deserved?
to me. They gave me
Girl,
icon.
I've seen you get like 3 or 4 plaques at this point.
No, I allowed them to give me the plaque after I already had took my iconic status 3-4 years before
You
that.
took yours?
Jack had already acknowledged it overseas in Italy when it was initially and officially.
So you took your status.
I did.
I've done that with all of my statuses too. It's a different feeling though because you never feel like you were actually deemed.
When they deemed me legendary, I wasn't even at the ball. They did it on the radio show, and they did it because I was on America's Best Dance Crew. And at that time, I felt like it was too soon because I knew, based on ballroom history, I'm like, no, it's too soon. I've only been in the game for 7 years, but I didn't realize why I was given it early. You know, because of outside of the world. Back then, I didn't really care about that. So I'm like, bitch, no, why? But as the icon, I'm like, no, I've done so much outside of ballroom. A lot of these girls are deemed iconic for only existing in ballroom walls, and barely that, because a lot of them have taken hiatus longer than their career. But that's neither there nor there.
You care. One thing, so many people that hit me up about this conversation were like how much they don't know you. And I said, she never is a girl that's going to bite her tongue. I just don't think that she thinks that everybody deserves her. Like, chat, you know? And I think that, like, tonight really proved that because of just when you respect a girl, you can talk about certain things because there's certain things you can't talk about with bitches because they'll think you're talking about them.
That's true. And that's a lot of times when I always make general statements. Even if it's a ball just happened and I'm making a statement about that specific ball, I never say specific people because I like to speak in general. I don't get bothered by one thing. It's a collection of things. So when I speak, it's about a collection of things. People just want to be butthurt.
Yeah, it's tricky. So like what because this is the end. I'm crying because I'm like, this is so amazing. what is one thing you want to tell all of the people and everything, and you can do it in a good 3 minutes. Leiomy, you have the floor.
Wait, you said what? Hold on. What you said?
I said, what's one thing you want to tell the people? It's the keys to success. It's a
Okay.
sharing app. What's one thing that you want to tell the people as our final closing out statement? And you got 3 whole minutes. You have the floor.
I would love to tell people to spend time with themselves. Do not allow people to disrupt your peace. I think a lot of people do not understand how important having self-peace is. I promise you, stay around people who support you and to love you. Stop wasting time on those that don't. And I say that because that's something that I had to learn about myself. Stay dedicated to yourself. Stay dedicated to your loved ones. Stay true to yourself. Say no. It's okay to say no to people. It's okay to say no. I promise you, it's okay. You might lose people when you say no, but that's okay because that means they weren't supposed to be a part of the journey to start with. What else? I would say to spend time with those loved ones, especially the ones who are elders. Spend time with them because those times are, you have to cherish those times because when those people are gone, you know, those are the times that you wish you could have had. Fortunately, I had a good time with my grandmother. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, so her leaving, like, you know, she was already older. It didn't affect me as much, but for those that, you know, are going through losses, like, yeah, just make sure that you there for those people. And check on the strong people, because the strongest of us go through the most. And I feel like a lot of times we are forgotten. We are very forgotten. A lot of people feel like just because you're strong and you deal with things and all this other thing that it's okay. And it's like, no, you're human as well. I feel like a lot of times we don't have a choice to not be strong. And don't take advantage of that shit. Also, tell a bitch when she tried it. Don't be afraid to tell a bitch when she tried it. Just find a way to say it in a respectful way so that way you don't, you know, find a way and apologize for the things that you do. Be accountable for the shit that you bring to the table. Pay attention to red flags and to your intuition because your intuition does not lie to you. I promise you. Majority of my mistakes in life is because I did not pay attention to my intuition, honey. Another thing I want to let you guys know, I know the late army is here. I love you guys. I haven't been online as much, but you know, I was getting myself together. She's coming back. And don't forget to love in yourself and to believe in yourself, because if you don't do, nobody else will.
And with that, y'all, you just got the keys to success. Leiomy, I absolutely love you.
Well, one more thing. And stop calling me Lay or Lele. I hate that shit. Nobody calls me Lay or Lele.
And
The only
another
time,
thing my lawyers
the,
wanted to
the
tell you,
only,
bitches.
because I feel like people don't understand the word. The Lele thing came from commentators. It's okay when commentators do it. Lay to the lay to Lele, bitch. We like to vibe to that. But don't call me Lele. Nobody in my personal life calls me Lele. It's a childish nickname. I am Leiomy. I am the Wonder Woman. And welcome to the mascara.
Y'all heard it first. Give me a hug. I love you. Thank you. Bye, you
I love you.
Joy.
Oh, and thank you so much for hosting this.
Amazing.
Make sure y'all follow the page.
Make sure y'all follow my shit. Follow I love you, sis. This was the keys to success with Leiomy Maldonado.
Y'all can call me Wonder Woman, Lamu, Mother, everything else.
Just
don't call me Lele, baby.
Call her Lele, bitch.